We're here at a new resort today, our first time ever at Disney's Art of Animation Resort. We had originally booked rooms at All Star Music, and one day Disney called us up and said, we'd like to give you a free upgrade to a family suite. We didn't really need a family suite because it's just me and Darla, but we said, hey, why not? Because, you know, a family suite would probably be better. And we've never stayed at the Art of Animation Resort before, so we thought we'd give it a shot. We have stayed at Pop Century several times, which is just across the Generation Gap Bridge over Hourglass Lake on the other side. Let's see. We'll go over the quick layout for you here. The main pool is called the Big Blue Pool, which is right here directly in front of the check-in building, Animation Hall, where the check-in counter, the restaurant, and the gift shop are located. You can see there's the pool bar out here and a laundry service, and it's a lovely pool. We'll show you that in just a second. There's also pools up here in the Little Mermaid section. That's called the Flippin' Fins pool. And over in the Cars Land section we have a Cozy Cone pool. I'm staying in room 4, or building 4 right here. Building 4 of the Finding Nemo is a great location because you're super close to the restaurant and the check-in desk and the Disney bus stop. You're also extremely close to the Skyliner stop. If you want to get on the Skyliner, you can go over to Epcot or to some of the other hotels on it, which is pretty fun. It's not real close to, if you're driving in, it's not real close to the parking area, but it's not bad if you can park in the parking lot here or the parking lot over here, and there's a little trail that goes right up to building 4. Laundry facilities are here by the pool bar and up here by the Flippin' Fins pool for that section. And over here, basically wherever there's a pool, there's a laundry room. On our tour of the Art of Animation Resort. And this is the famous pool here, the Big Blue Pool. And the hours are 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. They have movies out here in the evening. They have a campfire every night at Pride Rock from 6 to 7. And the movies are listed on the bottom. Every day there's a different movie. Tonight's Wednesday, so they're going to be showing Aladdin out here. Tomorrow night, Brave. Alright, and you can see the pool is pretty good size. It's not really deep. A lot of kids here. And there's a splash pad on the other side. It's just a nice themed pool. There's life vests for the little ones. And I believe there's handicap chairs you can use to get into the water for the disabled people. Lots of lifeguards on duty. I'm seeing at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm seeing at least 7 lifeguards on duty, which seems to be a lot for the number of people that are in the pool right now, which is only maybe 25 people. They had a cool feature at one time. They played underwater music, so when you went under the water, you could listen to music playing. But apparently they've stopped doing that because too many people were holding their breath and staying underwater for too long to listen to it. Up on the top of the building, we've got the seagulls from Finding Nemo. Just waiting to shout, mine, 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 right? And they do, every 15 minutes. Isn't that cool? Here's the drop-off pool bar, and you can get your drinks filled 24 hours a day. Here, right behind this sign, is the machine. Alright, here's a close-up of Building 4. It's got some very colorful fish friends swimming across the front, being chased by Bruce and his buddies behind him. It's just a light, colorful theme. And of course it has the, you know, the waterfront pilings with the seagulls on top here too. The landscaping here is really pretty and tropical. And I gotta say, it's very well maintained. Disney almost always on top of the game for maintenance and cleanliness, and our trip here to Art of Animation is and certainly no exception to that. Cozy Cone area is the closest to where I'm standing, and it's themed just like the movie Cars. It's got retro vehicles parked out front. It's got the giant billboards for the tourist attractions. And as you can see, it's also very close to the central building and check-in area. They definitely did a good job of evoking a desert landscape here with more of a arid looking environment. I love the retro streetlights here and the old style telephone poles, complete with glass insulators on top. And all the nice touches that you expect from a Disney themed resort. And it's all pretty, whoa, soft cork. It's all pretty interesting to see. These are stylized cars. They're not real cars, but they're pretty darn close, and most people won't know the difference. It's a warm day today. It's the 29th of September. It's about 86 degrees. Some afternoon clouds rolling in, which is quite common for Central Florida. The natural wildlife flying around. I saw a couple of birds, and of course the little lizards that are everywhere around here. I'm sure they probably love being on that rock at certain times of the day, because that would hold some heat for them. Let's see, but it's just super nice theming, very clean, and you couldn't go wrong staying at this section of the resort either. Now look at the details. The car over here has lights on it, and she's smiling at us. This one here's too. All right, let's move on a little. And of course, with Disney theming, you get the actual Cozy Cone sign, and it's, look at that. Look at that. It says refrigerated air, no vacancy, but it's just pretty darn awesome, I gotta say. Oh, there's Luigi the tire guy, and I don't know what the name of the little yellow car is. And look at that stack of tires out in front. Casa della Tires, Luigi's Tire Shop. Or actually, Luigi's House of Tires. Alright, we're moving along. Let's go check out the windows of this, quote, lobby building. Even though I showed you the lobby up front, but... oh, wow. Look at these postcards. See, that's one of the attention to detail that Disney does. It's just kind of a little over the top. They have fake vintage postcards of their attraction. And it's just pretty cool, I gotta say. I just love how they do things here. This is actually not the office. This is the restrooms and entry to the pool. And probably the laundry room too. But we might as well go through and have a quick look at this pool to show you what this pool looks like. And that was right. Here's the Turbo Wash Laundromat. And this is a lot smaller pool. But they have cabanas here. And it's first come, first serve. There's no charge to use them. And there's no reservations. So whoever gets up first thing in the morning and grabs one of these cabanas gets to have it for as long as they want that day. Which is kind of a nice little feature if you're able to snag one of these. Looks like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Looks like there's 8 of them over here. And there's really not that many people hanging out by the pool. So, you know, and then the giant entryway beyond the lifeguard there says Wheelwell Motel. And every building and area here will have a different theme to it. I gotta say, it's pretty cool place. Vending machines are everywhere on the hotel property. Each floor of the hotel is the lobby, the pool areas, They have Coca-Cola products exclusively at Walt Disney World. You're not going to find any Pepsi products here. I think maybe I should say at one point I think I saw some Mountain Dew bottles in one of the gift stores at possibly the Animal Kingdom gift store, but I can't remember for sure if I'm remembering that right or not. But it's an exclusively Coca-Cola product store, and these screw top 20-ounce bottles are $4 each. You can pay either with cash or a credit card. And then the snacks are pretty similar throughout the land, and they're can be paid with dollars or quarters, dollar coins, and almost everything in here is $2. Everything in here is $2.25. For let me get my shadow out of the picture here. There we go. They have small size bags of chips and crackers, candy bars, and beef jerky, more crackers, cookies, and Pop-Tarts on the bottom. This we've even got some little decorative concrete work done. Disney's very famous for the decorative concrete work, and that says welcome. It just feels like you're in an old roadside motel on Route 66, doesn't it? Oh, the other thing about the Art of Animation, it's one of the only, or it is the only value resort. I hesitate to call it a value resort because it's by far the most expensive value resort, but it's the only one that has interior corridors. You can see all the rooms we can see here. None of them have balconies or entryways facing outside. You have to go into the building and down the hallway or up the elevator to access your rooms once you're inside. That does add a level of security, I suppose, to your stay here. Some people like that, other people prefer the outside entrances. It's a matter of taste, but this is a very nice, well thought out place. I don't know if anybody would remember it or not. I'm sure a bunch of you Disney fans do. This property and these partially completed buildings back in the day stood here empty for quite a few years due to an economic downturn, and it was considered Disney's abandoned hotel project. I would say at least 5 or 6 years this was empty and half finished, just skeletons of buildings here. They finished Pop Century across the lake, and they did not decide to finish this one. I think Pop Century's themes are like the 50s through the 90s, or 50s through the 80s, 50s through the 80s, I believe. And this one was going to be the 1910s through the 1940s. I think it was going to be called Pop Century The Golden Years, or Disney's Golden Years Resort, depending on who tells the story. But I know it's true that it sat empty for a long time because I saw it with my own eyes on 2 different trips down here, looking across the lake from Pop Century. And then they decided to go with a new theme for this to match their animated successful movies: Little Mermaid, Finding Nemo, The Lion King, and Cars. The family suites are the predominant type of room they have here, with the exception of the Little Mermaid rooms. Those are standard single motel rooms. We have a Reedy Creek fire truck here arriving on the scene. Probably some sort of health emergency, because it doesn't look like they're here to fight a fire. There's no equipment coming in except for some medical bags. So that's sad, but you know, people can get sick and have a little medical emergency anywhere, so hopefully they'll be fine and back on the road in no time. We're around near the back side of the buildings now, but they haven't skimped on the theming back here either. They've got really cool murals on the back of each one, which, you know, they do a lot of like artistic theme here of like the animation and the drawing process to create characters. And you can see all these different black and white drawings of Nemo. And this is where the maintenance and housekeeping centers around. You can see all the laundry carts here. Nowadays, when you come to a Disney resort, they ask you up front if you want housekeeping every other day or not at all. And it used to be every day, but now they've cut back on their housekeeping. Although we have found that if you would like your housekeeping done every day, you can flag down one of the housekeepers in the hallway and request it, and as a courtesy they'll come in and take care of it for you. Of course, you should leave them a nice little tip when they do that too. Always tip your housekeeper. We always try and tip our housekeepers at least $1.50 or $2 a day per person. And if there's fewer people in the room, more than that. But you know, these ladies and gentlemen who work here and keep this place clean do a great job. Look up there, we got someone out there cleaning all the handrails and the stairwell. And this is the back side of the cozy cone over here. You can see more laundry carts lined up and beautifully maintained lawns and plantings. It's just a lovely place. Look at this. The time we stayed at Pop Century was in Christmas 2015, and I have to say I was a little disappointed in the quality of the maintenance of the grounds that particular time. There was quite a bit of trash laying around in the grass and just randomly sitting on top of garbage cans and stuff. Here we have Hourglass Lake, a beautiful little lake that's shaped like an hourglass, and they put up signs in the last couple of years that say no swimming and no fishing. And my third oldest son, Dominic, the first time we came down, he actually did go fishing down here because we could see all kinds of fish swimming around right near the edge of the shore. I don't remember him saying he caught anything, but he wanted to come down and give it a try, so he did. And of course, you know, in Florida, you always have to be careful of the presence of gators. So, you know, I believe that's one of the main reasons why they have these signs up here to stay away from the water, and they put in all these extra plantings and that to make the area harder to get down to. Across the aisle over there, across the lake, is Pop Century, and their icons over there are kind of cool. They've got giant yo-yos for stairwells on that building, and over here we've got 8-track tapes and all kinds of little sayings on top of the buildings, psychedelic and flower power. It's a nice resort. That's our favorite value resort, actually, is Pop Century. We've also stayed at All-Star Sports, All-Star Music, and All-Star Movies. The movies is fabulous because they've got your classic Buzz Lightyear and Woody giant icons. Sports, you know, it has a sports theme to it, which is nice. And movies has a couple of great theme sections which are really well done, which I've done some videos about before too. These little lizards don't get very big, and he's at least 4.5, 5 inches long to tip to tail. Look at that. He's just checking me out. So we're gonna go around him. Pet-friendly resort. You can see by the lovely dog walking down the sidewalk here. And certain sections are reserved for pet-friendly rooms, but I gotta say the fee that Disney charges is horrendous. I thought it was $50 per reservation. It's actually $50 a night, and that's just, I don't know, to me that seems crazy. That's a lot of money. All right, we're right here by the Friendship Bridge, and there's a walking trail, a running trail around the lakes. 1.3 miles if you go all the way around the lake. And tips about jogging or running around the lake, or even walking. And since we're by the Friendship Bridge, we will walk out on here and show you the Skyliner cars, which are a fairly new addition. Well, at least they weren't here last time I was here a few years ago. And oh, they redid this whole bridge. Look at this. This is way nicer than it used to be. A little narrower. It used to be a little wider, I think, in the middle. But maybe not. I walked over this bridge one time before all the way across. It was a real humid night. I was coming back from Magic Kingdom, I believe. It was super humid. And the air conditioning in the bus made the windows all foggy. Totally covered with fog. And I knew the bus was coming to Art of Animation and Pop Century. And for some reason, I just thought it was going to stop first at Pop Century. It stopped over here at Art of Animation. Well, over here at Art of Animation, which I didn't know because the windows were all foggy. So I got out. I had to come through the lobby, walk over here, across the bridge, and down that way to the room we had, which wasn't a big deal. It was just a little bit of extra walking late at night when you're already tired. But you couldn't see where you were, so you had to do what you had to do. Alright, let's have a look at these cars coming down the chute for the, what do you call it, the Skyliner. We're going to lean right up here, and we're going to get a view of them as they come rolling down. And that's a pretty cool way to travel. I'm going to get in one and go for a ride here sometime today. And they're all decorated, some of them for a different movie, some for the 50th anniversary, some of them with a Star Wars theme. Here comes Owl and Dior. And when you're inside, there's like a grid pattern through those decorations, so you can see out, but it's kind of shaded when you're inside, which is good because a lot of times this thing will stop and you don't want to be stuck up in the air in 100-degree weather in one of these things with the sun beating down on you. So you've got reflective glass, shading, and air vents on top that allow air circulation and keep you from suffocating if the thing happens to stop. There's a pontoon boat and a little office building. And then there's like a big, tall steel structure. And I'm thinking to myself, that's probably a rescue platform so they can extract people from the gondola cars if it happens to stop over the water here. Because this thing does break down occasionally. And if they had to rescue someone, they need a way to get them out. And a floating dock like that with a second story would be the perfect way to get people out of those cars. We're just standing here filming, and we got a visit from a turtle friend. That's a big one. Big snapping turtle. Here we're coming in from the other direction, the same hotel area of the park, the Finding Nemo suites. We're just coming in from the opposite direction. And I wanted to show you all the colorful sculptures and fish and decorative items down here on this side of the property. It's really nicely done, and I don't think people would have any complaints if they stayed here. Here's a play structure they have for the kids. That includes a slide and some tunnels. And look at that. Isn't he great? Didn't get a view of the splash pad. Here's the splash pad and the various water squirting and fountain type elements to it, surrounding a giant cup of French fries. Just kidding, I know it's a sea anemone, but it sure looks like French fries. And the seahorses, they're very colorful and inky. Very colorful, very colorful. And right up here, you've got this massive monumental statue of Crush with Dory tucked in beside his head. That is, I love Crush. This is one of the best statues here on property. One of the best decorative items here on property. That's just so big, so realistic looking, and so colorful. It's almost worth a visit to come over to this park just to see that. I'm sitting here enjoying a little snack, and I look over here in the bushes, And we've got a real-life Chip and Dale chasing each other around and running up and down the trees and scampering about. Look at that, there they go. Art of Animation is one of the few resorts on the value side of things here that you could sleep 5 or 6 people in. The separate bedroom and the little kitchenette with the microwave and refrigerator and coffee maker make it an extra nice place for families to stay. And if you're looking for a little bit larger room at a not too expensive of a rate, I highly recommend this Walt Disney World Resort property for your consideration. If you have any other questions about where to stay or what to do at Disney World, feel free to leave a comment below or send me an email, and I'll be happy to respond with my opinions or knowledge that I happen to have, or direct you to some people I know who can be of more help. Thanks for watching. Have a great Disney day.